the Kenya Geothermal Congress taking place from Tuesday 16th to 21st July at Safari Park Hotel, Nairobi. Kenya Geothermal Congress 2024, incentivizing investments in geothermal energy for Kenya's accelerated industrial development.
Self-reflection, continuous learning, and always putting yourself out of your comfort zone. These are some of the key elements needed in personal growth.
Kutoka masuala ya maadili, uhusiano wa kihisia, hadi masuala ya fedha, mzazi wa kiume ni muhimu sana kwa familia yake.
Personal growth is an individual journey that is influenced by one's beliefs and values.
Wanaume ukisimama mbele ya wanaume wenzako, unatoa kifua mbele, unajikaza kiasi, si ndio?
Katika dunia inayobadilika kila uchao, ni jukumu lako wewe kama baba mzazi kuilinda familia yako kwa vyovyote vile. Ungana nasi tarehe 3 Agosti mwaka huu hapa Tilisi kwa gumzo la mwaka la Man Cave Season 4.
To all car enthusiasts, we got you covered. We are bringing you a fully fledged car clinic. Also join us for amazing sumptuous meals. Not forgetting, grab your tickets at www.kenyabus.com. Tupatane Man Cave.
I hope hujaniongea mazi yangu venye ulifanya ile juice ya kina Achi kwa launch ya salon yao.
Ai, taste and see. Kwanza yako nimekuwekea double. Thick vile tu unapendanga.
Makena. Ni mapema sana kwanza kusema jina thick sahi.
Kwani hakuna kitu kingine ufikiria?
Kama umechoka na hii maisha, achana na wengine wetu tuienjoy.
And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Join the Geothermal Association of Kenya and its partners as they delve into the financing and development of Kenya's geothermal sector during the Kenya Geothermal Congress taking place from Tuesday 16th to 21st July at Safari Park Hotel, Nairobi. The Kenya Geothermal Congress 2024 will focus on incentivizing investments in geothermal energy to accelerate industrialization as an enabler towards attaining Kenya's Vision 2030. Don't miss this opportunity to discover, amongst other themes, Kenya's quest to join the 1 gigawatt country club while working towards achieving a 100% shift to renewable energy. Book your delegate pass to experience cutting-edge technology, insightful discussions, unparalleled networking opportunities, and unforgettable field visits. Kenya Geothermal Congress 2024, incentivizing investments in geothermal energy for Kenya's accelerated industrial development.
This is NTV.
It's the 10th day of July 2024. Thank you for joining us on NTV tonight. We have a lot in store for you, including On the Money. We are talking about tech startups and why they have the struggles of going beyond the death curse when they're still young. On our special segment on business and technology, that is On the Money. And again, we have stories to show you that the people's power is now moving the political class. First, the highlights.
Na wale wanajaribu kufanya mambo kule ngambo sijui wapi kupanga mambo ya nini, mimi nataka niwaambie Kenya is a democratic nation.
Is President William Ruto insinuating that there are foreign hands in the anti-government protests? And the picture of an anger trigger for many young Kenyans. The disapproval of the seeming dalliance between the president and the opposition is splitting Azimio.
If there were consultations, my view is those were hurried and there wasn't a full consultation.
Should not condemn Baba for calling for dialogue.
Plus,
Next decisions is that the Honorable Farah Maalim be de-whipped from all committees in Parliament.
the Dab MP Farah Maalim's alarming remarks land him in trouble with his party and the Cohesion and Integration Commission. Also tonight,
we've been able to come up with a startup bill, and this is back in 2018 when ASEC was being formed, and we are still pushing through.
Various Kenyan tech startups battle the curse of death soon after birth. We take a deep dive into this situation on this week's On the Money.
Live from Nation Center, this is NTV Tonight with Dan Mwangi.
Welcome to the bulletin. Alongside me on the sign language interpretation tonight is Flora Atieno. Now, the power of the people in rejecting the National Dialogue Forum proposed by President William Ruto is as the antidote, I should say, to the issues raised by Gen Z and other young protesters is seemingly causing a fallout within the opposition coalition, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya. Azimio principal, that's Kalonzo Musyoka, is the latest senior leader in the coalition to differ with the coalition party leader Raila Odinga over the matter, saying he was not involved in the decision made by the president and Odinga, and instead maintained that what Kenyans want now is action and not dialogue. NTV's political affairs reporter Vincent Odur begins our broadcast.
Azimio core principal Kalonzo Musyoka has come out to distance himself from the decision to have a 6-day national dialogue forum endorsed by President William Ruto and Raila Odinga as the best way to resolve the issues raised by protesters during the recent countrywide anti-government protests. With thousands of youth online expressing their disappointment with the president and declaring a big no to the said dialogue forum, several leaders are now not only taking a U-turn, but also gravitating towards their demand of having nothing else from President Ruto apart from action on issues raised.
If there were consultations about having a national dialogue, my view is those were hurried and there wasn't a full consultation.
Kenyans online shared posts on why they have rejected dialogue. Like this one says, do you need dialogue to arrest killer cops? No. Do you need dialogue to sack corrupt officials? No. Do we need dialogue to audit the public debt? No. Among other issues. Odinga found himself on the receiving end as people online rejected and denounced his move to side with the president. His own son Raila Odinga Jr. distancing himself from his father's decision. With the mounting pressure from the people, Kalonzo now wants the Azimio coalition party leader Odinga to convene a meeting to reflect on the reactions from Kenyans.
What the country wants is fidelity to the rule of law, fidelity to our constitution, and the fact that Kenyans and Gen Zs in particular want their country back. And I'm sure that Honorable Raila Odinga himself will be willing to convene us so that we, because he's a party leader, we can then clearly discuss with him that Kenyans are saying they don't need dialogue. There have been too many dialogues so far. So, and really this dragging of feet, we don't want to be seen to be sanitizing a regime that has fallen flat on its own tummy.
Affiliate party leaders within Azimio, that is now Kenya's Martha Karua and DAP Kenya's Eugene Wamalwa, have also rejected the calls for a national dialogue. Vincent Odur, NTV.
President William Ruto has hinted at a plot by unnamed foreign actors undermining his government days after yielding to demands to drop the controversial finance bill following countrywide protests. Ruto, who was in Kajiado, accused unnamed individuals of trying to ascend to power by sponsoring chaos in the country. Fatma Bugu has the details.
President Ruto says he will not bow to pressure and give up power, asking his critics to wait for 2027 when they will have a chance to vote for their preferred candidate.
So kila mtu ajipange. Mimi najipanga, hii uchaguzi tutakutana. Si ndio? Hakuna problem. Si ndio? Tutakutana kwa uchaguzi na kila mtu atakuja atandike kazi yake ile amefanya. Na nyinyi wananchi ni watu werevu. Nyinyi mtajua huyu amefanya kazi apite. Huyu ameshindwa na kazi aende nyumbani.
The president warned unnamed foreign powers of sabotaging his government by sponsoring chaos.
Na wale wanajaribu kufanya mambo kule ngambo sijui wapi kupanga mambo ya nini, mimi nataka niwaambie Kenya is a democratic nation. So hakuna haja ya kuharibu amani ya nchi. Hakuna haja ulete fujo Kenya.
The president has come under the fire in the recent past weeks as Kenyans took to the streets to protest against poor governance and overtaxation. However, efforts by the youthful generation to agitate for change has been lauded.
Natoa shukurani kuu, maana hata mimi niko katika hali ya wasiwasi na kusema kweli kiongozi anaweza shukisha kiburi chini na kubali matakwa ya wananchi. Watoto wamefanya historia leo imeandikwa katika nchi ya Kenya.
They have called on the youth to now shift focus to the counties and hold their leaders accountable.
Na tunawaambia pia vijana waache kuangalia pia ile mambo ya kule serikali kuu pia peke yake. Waje sasa hapa kwa county pia. Waangalie pia ili transparency iweko na wananchi pia wajue zile matumizi.
Revolutions are not rushed. Revolutions take time. And if we rush revolutions, we might lose this country. Revolutions is about strengthening our institution. And that is exactly the report that was enacted yesterday.
This comes as the youth continues with their Shujaa Memorial Services concerts. On his ex-handle, Boniface Mwangi says the county government of Mombasa has declined to give them a venue to host the Mombasa edition of Shujaa Memorial Concert. Fatma Bugu, NTV, Mombasa.
The Wiper Party's National Executive Council has resolved to de-whip Farah Maalim from all committees in Parliament over remarks he made about the anti-government protesters. The NEC has also recommended that Maalim, who is also the Wiper's deputy party leader, be expelled from the party, saying Maalim's alleged conduct is against the guiding principles of the party. This, even as the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, summoned the leader. Ruth Sarmoy Chesenge with the details.
It is a video that has elicited emotions on social media of the Dadaab MP and former National Assembly Deputy Speaker Farah Maalim allegedly saying he would have used excessive force to deter the Gen Z-led protests. The undated video shows Farah speaking in his native Somali language. The video has left the MP in hot soup, with his party mulling his expulsion as an alternative.
NEC decisions is that the Honorable Farah Maalim be de-whipped from all committees in Parliament, including the Speaker's panel.
Shakila Abdallah, the party's Secretary General, said the decision to have Farah expelled from the party was also fueled by his decision to support the contested but now withdrawn 2024 finance bill.
NEC also recommends the expulsion from the party to the National Delegates Convention, NDC, the supreme organ of the party.
Kisii Woman Representative Doris Donya Aburi, Taita Taveta MP John Okano Bwire and nominated MP Abubakar Ahmed are also in trouble with the party for defying the party's direction on the contested bill by voting yes. Meanwhile, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, has summoned the Dadaab MP to appear at its office on Thursday over the remarks they term are likely to incite feelings of contempt, hatred, hostility, violence or discrimination and affects harmonious coexistence between groups of different political affiliations in Kenya. Ruth Sarmoy Chesenge, NTV.
Tonight, the whereabouts of a number of people remains unknown following the anti-government protests. The missing people were allegedly abducted by law enforcement agents. Who are they? So one, Nuru Abdi, who was allegedly abducted on Saturday by unknown assailants and still remains missing to date. Two, Issa Osman Guyo, who is 22 years old, was on Saturday, July 6th, abducted by unknown assailants and still remains missing. Louis Nguyai, or Nguni, resident Nguyai, I should say, resident of Nanyuki, who went missing after presenting himself to the DCI. Stephen Kigade, a politician from Kikuyu constituency, who was abducted by people who picked him up from his office in Kikuyu. All right, and there still are many other people, or rather a number of people who are still claimed to be missing, and we shall be following that up just to ensure that we have a sense of what is happening in the country. Now, an irate mob today overpowered police officers at Gashosho police station in Murang'a County before accessing the police cells where they lynched a murder suspect. The suspect is said to have murdered his brother in cold blood of a land tussle. The agitated mob started by blocking a section of Nyoka Nyoka Road, that is at Gashosho, baying for the suspect's blood. In the melee that ensued, police officers ran out of tear gas and began firing in the air. A number of officers sustained injuries after stones were pelted at them. Kegumo Police Commander Nicholas Kiprono declined to comment on the matter, promising to release a statement later.
Walikuja na mti na huyu mwingine alikuja na jebe. Sasa wakaanza kumpiga. Mmoja akampiga na jebe akaanguka chini. Sasa huyu mwingine akachukua mti naye akampiga sana kwa kichwa, lakini nilipopiga duru wakasema hata yeye nyamaza.
Ni kama mpango walikuwa nayo. Juu walienda wakakunywa pombe watu wakiwa wawili, wakamvamia kule nyumbani na ika happen.
Tumesukumana na makarao hadi wakamaliza hizo matia gas. Na sisi hatukuwa tunatambua, wamepiga hadi marisasi huku.
It has become a concerning trend seeing startups start off with a promising future for the business for their business, I should say, and in the blink of an eye, they're under administration or shutting down immediately. On the Money tonight, Nina Shaban highlights the fall of tech startups and the different challenges behind their closure or downsizing, as opposed to tech startups from the West that seem to have immediate success after the implementation.
Well, fresh produce aggregator Twiga Food is venturing into food production as it looks to mitigate the impact of supply chain disruption in its business. This follows a $10 million infusion into the business.
We realize that manufacturers are struggling, big distributors are really struggling to get to the users of their products. And Sandy Supply was born at that time.
Just 2 years ago, Kenyan startups raised nearly $1 billion in the first half of 2022, surpassing what the country secured in 2021, showing the greatest growth in funding as compared to Nigeria, Egypt and South Africa. Fast forward to the year 2024.
Jumia joins a host of other businesses that have either wound up operations or scaled down their food delivery business entirely.
Now, Copia, a Kenyan e-commerce platform serving low to middle-income customers through a network of agents, has warned that it could fire up to 1,060 workers due to lack of new capital needed.
The board of directors of Copia Kenya have placed the beleaguered e-commerce firm in administration as they seek the preservation of the business and amid recent upheavals.
Where did the rain start beating them? Let's look into their backgrounds. Copia, for instance, was launched in 2013 with the goal of bringing e-commerce and financial services to middle and low-income households on the continent. Trigger Foods was created in 2014 to reduce fragmentation in the produce market. The agri-tech startup runs a mobile-based B2B food supply platform that supplies fresh fruits and vegetables sourced from farmers in rural Kenya to small and medium-sized vendors, outlets and kiosks in Nairobi. Sandy, on the other hand, is an end-to-end fulfillment platform connecting manufacturers, distributors and e-commerce businesses directly to warehousing, order, processing and delivery. And then there is Jumia, the self-proclaimed #1 online shopping mall in Kenya. A sit-down with Sam Shapate, current chief executive at Kapu, an online shopping community and former chief executive at Jumia, gave the realization that the e-commerce market is huge and more tapping of the opportunities the space has to offer is possible, though there is an aspect of innovation that some of these companies may not have been keen on.
I think the key thing to remember is that, this is innovation. And all over the world, every ecosystem around the world, every place in the world, it takes generations of teams and of companies to crack these big opportunities. It's very clear e-commerce is a winning model all over the world. Every market in the world, there is winning examples of e-commerce models. It's only a matter of what's the right model for here, and time for customers to build familiarization, to get more digital, etc. It's a combination of the two.
According to Peter Kironji, the co-founder of Twiva, an influencer-driven social commerce platform that helps businesses gain brand awareness and make sales, the challenge is companies expanding too fast and lack of understanding of the market.
We, as Africans, are allergic to some extent to subscription. This idea that I charge you before I create value for you. So the business model that must make sense on the continent must start create value before they capture value, and the value they create for the customer must be more than that they capture.
Marcy Kimalat, the founding CEO of the Association of Startups and SMEs Enablers of Kenya, also known as ASEC, insists that the challenges tech startups struggle has a lot to do with policies.
We've been able to come up with a startup bill, and this is back in 2018 when ASEC was being formed, and we are still pushing through. Now, what we've been trying to do is use the formal channels of communication, whereby we do written submissions to the parliamentary committee or written submissions to the Senate and many other stakeholders, just to ensure that our feedback is included in that. And we actually were able to conclude on that session last week, where we submitted our feedback back to the parliamentary committee on the Startup Bill 2022.
Undeniably, some of the challenges these firms are facing is the emergence of smaller but very vibrant e-commerce business being run in the social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram.
Since we started online, business has really improved for us, almost by 80%. So we have a wide variety of customers now. We find that we used to restock maybe twice a month. Now we restock almost weekly.
According to statistics courtesy of Crunchbase, by the end of 2023, Twiga had raised up to $185.4 million with 19 fund rounds and 25 investors, while Copia had raised $123 million with 8 funding rounds and 19 investors. As for Sandy, by the time 2023 was coming to a close, it had raised $26.7 million with 10 funding rounds and 15 investors. As the tech companies are trying to stabilize in the Kenyan market, it is quite unfortunate that Sandy struggled with operational sustainability, financial challenges, and market volatility, which eventually led to its shutdown. Nina Shaban, NTV.
Nina Shaban takes us on our first break on NTV tonight, and after the break, she'll be back to take you through the latest in business news. Stay with us.
kupitia kwa star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this brand new Mazda Demio.
Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, touchscreen and a reverse cam, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business.
Ukitaka kujishindia gari hili, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option number 4, kisha unajiunga na draw. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Gari ya pili ni yako. Ni yako.
Hii Julai, jishindie Demio na Loto Moto. Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
Are you looking for an ideal real estate investment in Parklands? Allow us to introduce Park Peak Residency, situated in 4th Parklands Avenue, opposite Concord Hotel and 200 meters from Diamond Plaza Mall. This project offers 45 signature units, 3 and 4 bedrooms with DSQ, alongside 5 and 6 duplex penthouses. We are delighted to invite you to our show house grand opening event on Saturday, July 13th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. To RSVP or for more information on our projects, call us on 0745 444 111. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Winning a first international trophy has long been seen as the ultimate validation for Belgium. It was hoped the country's golden generation would deliver Belgium an elusive title, having been perched at the top of the FIFA rankings for several years. But a tame exit at Euro 2024 is set to spell the end of an era for the Red Devils.
The Kenya Geothermal Congress taking place from Tuesday 16th to 21st July at Safari Park Hotel, Nairobi. Kenya Geothermal Congress 2024, incentivizing investments in geothermal energy for Kenya's accelerated industrial development.
A very good evening to you. My name is Nina Shaban. Let's take a look at more business news other than on the money. Now, government debt in the local market grew 5.8% during the fiscal year that ended last month, with new borrowings hitting 577 billion shillings, up from 545.2 billion acquired in a similar period in the previous year. According to fresh data from the Central Bank of Kenya, the new borrowing took the country's domestic debt stock to 5.41 trillion as at the end of June 2024, up from 4.832 trillion at the end of June last year. The National Treasury has set the domestic borrowing target at 851.8 billion as of May, including 471.3 billion in net domestic borrowing and 380.5 billion in payments or redemptions. The projection on new domestic borrowing has, however, been a moving target, with the National Treasury having fast revised the net domestic borrowing targets to 415.3 billion, down from the original 587.4 billion projections in its September budget review and outlook paper. The Information, Communication and Technology ICT Authority has revived a proposal to accredit all service providers in the sector, setting the stage for renewed clashes with industry players. Now, in the ICT Authority Bill 2024, the regulators are seeking to compel all service providers in the industry to register, even as it is also seeking additional powers to oversee the ICT sector and in addition to providing the services for state offices. This proposal has been rejected multiple times before, and the latest being in 2022 when the proposal sailed through the National Assembly, but former President Uhuru Kenyatta declined to assent to it following concerns raised by the industry that it would limit innovation by locking out some of its professionals as well as trainees and youth hoping to join the sector. The bill sets requirements such as registration fees before one is registered to practice. A Tanzanian-based conglomerate with diverse interests in energy, construction, food and transport has made a 65 shilling per share bid to fully acquire Bamburi Cement for a total of 23.5 billion shillings, representing a 44.4% premium on the target's closing stock price of 45 shillings on Wednesday. Amson's Group, which is a family-run business with operations in Tanzania, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi, said on Wednesday that it has signed a binding offer with Bamburi Cement to complete the deal. The deal will see Bamburi, one of Kenya's iconic blue-chip companies, delisted from the Nairobi Securities Exchange, with shareholders also pocketing a final dividend of 5 shillings and 47 cents per share on the 25th of July. The dividend will be paid to shareholders who were on record as of May 24th. Simbacorp has entered the nascent electric vehicle, that's EV market, seeking to progressively offer passenger cars and commercial units over the years as the country transitions from vehicles powered by diesel and petrol. The company recently sold the 2 units of all-electric Mahindra XUV 400 sports utility vehicle and Kenya Power at a cost of 9 million shillings, and the dealer is set to deliver 4 more similar units to the electricity distributor later this year. Well, that brings us to the end of NTV Business. My name is Nina Shaban. After the break, Dan Wangi will be back with more news.
Ngozi yako ina glow. Nilijipaka mafuta leo asubuhi nikikam, lakini skin yangu ishaparara and it looks so dull. Sis, see, it's the new Nice and Lovely Lemon Extract Body Lotion. Hiyo ndo secret yangu to a moisturized and bright skin. Usimix.
New Nice and Lovely Lemon Lotion, enriched with vitamin C and sunflower seed oil for 48-hour nourishing glow and brighter skin. Try Nice and Lovely Lemon Lotion today.
Kwa star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this brand new Mazda Demio.
Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, touchscreen and a reverse cam, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business.
Ukitaka kujishindia gari hili, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option number 4, kisha unajiunga na draw. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Gari ya pili ni yako. Ni yako.
Hii Julai, jishindie Demio na Loto Moto. Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde.
moment I feel my pain starting to fade. It's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.
Panadol Extra releases you from strong pain. Panadol, release starts here.
Welcome back to NTV Tonight. And now take a look at the standoff that has been there between the Ministry of Health and the intern doctors, as this impasse is not stopping, doesn't seem to be stopping. And it's not letting up, with the medics insisting on posting at the agreed CBA rates, even with the ministry not considering this as an option at the moment. With the protests that have been witnessed, Health CS Susan Nakumicha says some of the protesters are not genuine and are being malicious. Now let's sample her statement as well as some of the responses from the doctor interns, who are medical officers, pharmacists and dentists. Now on the protests, the cabinet secretary, that is Susan Nakumicha, says it's regrettable that despite the open and candid discussions with the union officials and representatives of the interns, a few individuals are attempting to use the demonstrations and assembly as an opportunity to paint the image of inaction, neglect and incompetence against the Ministry of Health, hoping that this will propagate a feeling of hopelessness and incite chaos among the wider population. The interns, through a co-signed statement by Dr. Mwinde Nthusi, the chairman of the Internship Liaison Committee, and the Secretary General, Dr. Elisha Hari Otieno, say, they say that, what they said, if I just get it here, is that our demonstrations are not politically instigated, but stem from genuine frustration and hardship. Some interns have been out for over 12 months without placement. Now, what you see here is what the CS Nakumicha says. There have been meetings between the ministry and the representatives of the medics, and the latest meeting was over the weekend. And some of the options they have, these are the three options they have. One, posting all doctor interns at the recommended SRC stipend rate of 70,000 shillings per month. B, wait for the court's direction on the 26th of September 2024. And C, using the funds allocated in the 2024-2025 financial year budget, post the interns as per the CBA rates in batches as discussions continue within government to find additional resources. Now, besides that, she also adds that with the allocated funds, the ministry will be able to post at least 552, that is of the 3760 interns who are yet to be placed immediately, followed by the rest as more resources become available, which would be indefinite. Now, aside from that, this is what the interns, the medical interns, are saying, that all doctor interns should be posted immediately at the agreed CBA rates. Fair compensation is crucial for maintaining the morale and motivation of healthcare workers who are on the front lines. The CBA rates ensure that interns receive a living wage that reflects the cost of living and the demanding nature of their profession. They also add that the immediate posting of medical interns at CBA rates is not just a matter of fair compensation, but a critical step towards fulfilling Kenya's commitments under the Abuja Declaration and improving the overall healthcare system. And they point out that Kenya is a signatory to the Abuja system, the agreement. All right, we wait and see how that plays out, even as the medics stand their ground. Now, reigning Standard Chartered Marathon champion Alphonse Kigen is set to defend his title when the oldest active marathon run in the country takes center stage on the 27th of October. Speaking at the launch of the 21st edition, local organizing committee chairman Peter Getao revealed that this year's edition will see a total of 23,000 participants taking part.
For the 21st time, Kenyans and elite runners will be able to test themselves in the iconic Standard Chartered Marathon. The latest edition of the race is set to take place on the 27th of October that will start at Uhuru Gardens.
So we're happy with some of the initial preparations we've had. We've got sponsors who've come in, we've had meetings with our partners, and as the local organizing committee now begins to intensify its efforts, we'll start publishing more and more information about the race, the route, etc.
Close to 23,000 runners will compete in 7 categories cumulatively. Athletes will test their skills in the full marathon race, the half marathon race, the 10 kilometers race, the 21 kilometers wheelchair race, the 5 kilometers family race, the CEO's challenge, and the corporate relay challenge.
We earned a World Athletics Road Label qualification last year. So this year, anyone participating in our races will be running under that World Athletics Road Label. What that does is that your timing starts getting recognized, and then you can then move on to other races.
After winning the previous edition in a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 18 seconds, defending champion Alphonse Kigen has thrown down the gauntlet and stated his ambition in lowering the time he posted last year.
Najaribu kwenda kukimbia time to the circles. Sasa ile najaribu kwenda kuimprove time kukimbia PB yangu.
This Saturday, 13th July, Stan Chart has organized a warm-up run at Tatu City to help participants gauge themselves as they continue to prepare for the marathon, with close to 3,000 participants to take part in the run.
The proceeds goes towards Future Makers Initiative. So Future Makers Initiative is a program that we run for several years, and what we do is we promote the youth and people with disabilities to learn and grow.
Registration of the race is currently ongoing online, with the overall winner of the October Marathon set to walk away with 2 million Kenya shillings. Elijah Oko, NTV Sport.
Confederation of African Football officials will be in the country on Friday to inspect Kenya's preparedness to host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027. Sports CS Ababu Namwamba revealed that CAF officials will inspect the Talanta Sports City, Nyayo National Stadium and Mo International Sports Center Kasarani, the 3 stadiums earmarked for AFCON. Ababu was speaking during Police FC and Police Bullets breakfast meeting with Club Patron Permanent Secretary for Interior Raymond Omolo and Sports PS Peter Tum. The government is set to aid the 2 teams together with FKF Premier League champions Gor Mahia on their continental assignments in August. Police FC qualified for the CAF Confederations Cup, while the Bullets did not.
In the history of football, we are taking 2 teams to the Continental Championships. It speaks to the quality and the caliber of players that we have, but it also speaks to the leadership. On Friday, the Confederation of African Football will be in Nairobi to check on our level of preparedness. And we have a meeting on Friday as a ministry to update them. And they'll go around, they'll visit Talanta Stadium, which is the main host venue. They'll visit Nyayo Stadium, they'll visit Kasarani Stadium, to check whether Kenya is ready.
With that story, that's the end of our bulletin for tonight. But aside from that, we want to remind you that every Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, we have 12 Minutes, our special story, which is a compelling story of human experiences and journeys. And tonight, what is on 12 Minutes? This is it. The high cost of living has led to food prices reaching an all-time high, affecting many households in the country. Families are struggling to afford this basic necessity, raising concerns about simply being able to put food on Kenyans' plates. Most families have had to cut down on protein portions due to the significantly increased cost, despite warnings from nutritionists that could lead to an unhealthy population. Proteins play a critical role in building the body and boosting immunity. Lois Wangoi brings us that story in 12 minutes after this break. Have yourselves a good night.
This is NTV.
Acne-prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Hey! Wapinduru ya Kisumu! Mombasa, how are you? Kericho, hey!
This show inspired generations with the laughter, the fun and the good times. Brought to you endless talents and changed the lives of many across the country.
If I watch it, I'll still laugh.
This is something we've been waiting for so much.
And above entertainment, it has mingled a lot of cultures. It has enabled things like tribalism to be reduced in our country.
And now, are you ready for the return of Africa's biggest comedy show? Churchill Show, starting this July on NTV.
Put your hands together for Churchill Show.
The moment I feel my pain starting to fade, it's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.
Panadol Extra releases you from strong pain. Panadol, release starts here.
This is NTV.
George Moora is a Juakali artisan in Kipkaren, 5 kilometers outside Eldoret town. His job is back-breaking, he says, but with the rising cost of living, he has no choice. For his family, food is slowly becoming a luxury he can barely afford. Protein, a key component of his diet, has become unaffordable. Beans, for example, have risen significantly.
Mimi kwangu, katika hali yangu ya maisha jinsi nimekuwa nikiishi katika miaka iliyopita, nikilinganisha na saa hii ni kugumu sana. Sababu kiangalia kitu kama maharagwe ambao tulikuwa tumezoea kukula mahindi kidogo na maharagwe mingi, saa hii mahindi ndio inakuwa mingi katika githeri. Tunaweka mahindi mingi, maharagwe kidogo.
The high cost of proteins has caused this father of 4 to remove yet another protein component from his family's menu. He did this reluctantly because he understands his family's health needs, especially those of his school-going children. Previously, his children enjoyed eggs for breakfast at least once a week, but things have changed.
Kiangalia kitu kama tuseme mayai, ilikuwa ni kwa mfano asubuhi mtoto anaenda shule akila mayai angalau moja. Saa hii inamaliza hata wiki ama wiki mbili hiyo mayai hajapata.
In response to the soaring cost of food, Kenyans have been compelled to make significant changes to their dietary habits. Many individuals have been forced to limit their protein intake, resulting in a deficiency in essential nutrients crucial for maintaining good health.
Kitu kingine ni tukuje upande wa hii nyama ambayo tena inaleta hii protein. Nyama huenda ikawa tulikuwa tunakula nyama kwa wiki mara 2. Saa hii tunaangalia kwa mwezi ndio unakuta hiyo nyama kwa mwezi tunakula safari moja, na ikiwa sasa nimefanikiwa kiasi na ipata hiyo nyama kwa mwezi mara 2. Tuseme maziwa inakuwa ni ngumu sana. Wenye kuleta maziwa wanaleta ni kweli, lakini senti ya kununua ile maziwa hakuna. Hiyo ni kitu inaleta challenge sana. Hata unakuta wenye kuuza hiyo maziwa wanasema hii maziwa tutapeleka wapi na imekuja. Inakuja wameiweka igande ili wauze ikiwa mara. Sababu wenye kununua hakuna. Mimi nilikuwa nimezoea kununua maziwa lita 1 kila siku. Sasa inakuwa ni ngumu sana. Hivyo naona kwamba katika hali ile ili watoto waonekane kwamba wamekunywa ile maziwa, naweka kitu kinachoitwa maji ambao haisaidii mtu wakati ule. Sababu maji ina wakati wake wa kunywa na maziwa ina wakati wake wa kunywa. Ili kudanganya tu ndio ikuwe mingi, angalau watoto wakunywe ile maziwa ikiwa na maji na sukari na majani kidogo.
Safas Wanyikwa, a family man of 2 children, survives on menial jobs. He says he too has had to make adjustments due to the high cost of protein foods.
Hiyo saa hii protein kukula ni kama Krismasi. Haipatikani zaidi kwa sababu ya gharama. So kuipata ni ngumu. Sasa watu wanaishi na hivi vyakula vingine. Sana sana starch ndio imejaa kwa mili ya watu, lakini protein ni ngumu kupata. Kama sasa jamii zenye zinakula githeri, afadhali yao, maana hawezi maliza wiki moja kabla hajapata chakula githeri, atapata maharagwe hapo ndani. Lakini jamii zingine zenye zinapenda kukula ugali, hawa protein ni Krismasi kwao. Sasa nyama kwa vile walileta hii ratili hii ya kupima, unaona vile anapenda hii electronic, unaenda kwa butchery unaweza pata maybe kama ka shilingi 30 ama 50. But naye inategemea the number of family kwa hiyo household mko wangapi. Kama uko peke yako unaweza kujisort na hiyo. But kama uko na tuseme set of almost 4 people, sasa lazima utembee kwenda kwa shilingi 200 huko juu, kwa kipangilia kwamba kila mmoja akule kanyama ka shilingi 50, ambayo ukiangalia nayo ni very expensive. Sasa itabidi uteremuke mpaka chini uweke maji, alafu ya harufu tu mtoto akipitisha ugali hapo na hii harufu anasema amekula nyama. Ukiangalia saa hii, unajua protein sana sana inaongeza nguvu mwili, inaongeza damu. Sasa damu unaweza pata iko kiwango mahali imelala tu hapo tu, haiongezi. So even this idea ya donation of blood sasa hiyo ukiangalia iko chini. Mtu anaenda saa atolewe damu kwa mwili, lakini sasa ile chakula anakuja kutumia ndiye arudishe tena, hapo iko shida.
Saa hii watu wanunue nyama sana, sababu bei ya nyama imeenda juu na tena gharama ya maisha imeenda juu tena. So watu na prepare kununua sojo na gorogoro kidogo ya unga. So at least the day to go. Mai saa hii iko juu. Alapta ile ya kutoka Uganda ndio unaweza pata chini. Lakini mai ile ya original ya Kenya iko juu zaidi. Sasa kununua nyama at least tunangoja Desemba. Ni kama samani tu. Tunakulanga nyama Desemba kwa sababu bei imeenda juu. Sasa tunagaramia watoto wapate supu kidogo, hiyo ndio wakati tunaona. Lakini saa hii tunaprepare sukuma na sojo. Hata kama saa hii sio rahisi, ni 180. Cabbage imeenda juu kidogo. Maragwe imeenda juu. So kupata maragwe hata saa hii watu chache ndio nabanda. Labda saa ile tunabanda ni wakati tunabanda shamba. Lakini iko shida kwa nini saa hii? Unajua as time goes kila kitu naenda juu. Ni vile dunia naenda. Kila kitu imekuwa very expensive. Lakini serikali ikiendelea kuprovide watoto na hii uji na vitu zingine, hiyo ndio saidia. Yaani hii uji imikisiwe kasaba na vitu zingine ambaye inaleta protein. Otherwise watoto watakosa. Ndio naona hata watoto wengi wanasikwa na pneumonia kwa sababu ya mwili iko very weak. Ukiona watu wa sahi they are not very strong. They are very weak sana. Ndio naona watoto wanapelekwa hospitali kwa sababu ya kukosekana na protein. Yes.
Proteins come from both plants and animals, with animal proteins being classified as complete proteins, meaning they contain all the 9 essential amino acids, while many plant-based proteins have less amino acids. The high cost of proteins in the country began in the month of December last year, and it was attributed to poor harvests of plant proteins in the country for 2 consecutive seasons. The increased cost of animal protein, on the other hand, have been associated with the increased costs of production in animal husbandry.
Unajua hii chakula ya kuku, chakula ya ng'ombe imeenda juu zaidi. Ile kitu serikali ingefanya subsidy kwa hii vitu yote hii. Kwa sababu sasa mkulima ako na shida sana. Hii vitu kununua tawa kwanza ndio imekuwa expensive. Sasa mtu hawezi kubuka kuku sababu inahitaji tawa. Inahitaji tena chakula ambaye inakuwa special. So ningeomba serikali wa reduce ama waweke subsidy kwa hii chakula yote.
Bei ya chakula sasa hii, bei ya maharagwe, cereals imepanda kabisa. Maharagwe sasa hii tunanunua maharagwe na shilingi 450. Korokoro moja. Sasa hapo nyuma nilikuwa nanunua korokoro na 300, kwa saa hii nanunua korokoro na 450. Kulinganisha na hapo nyuma nilikuwa natumia hii kikombe shilingi 30. Unaona hii ya 30 hapo nyuma ilikuwa at least mtu anaweza nunua hivi, inaweza tosha familia. Lakini kwa saa hii hivi ikipima hivi shilingi 40, ukiwekea mtu hivi haiwezi tosha familia yake. Mtu anaona hakuna haja anunue maharagwe, heri hata aenda anunue hata kama ni sukuma, apike ugali, akule ugali.
Mtu ana prefer hata kule mboga na ugali. Ama wengine hata wanakaa njaa, watakula sapa nyumbani. Samaki pia imepotea. Juu bei ya samaki hata tukienda kwa lake iko juu sana, si kama kitambo. Sisi kuna wateja. Kama for example hiyo hoteli yetu ilikuwa inajaa from Monday to Friday, yani inajaa kabisa. We were busy, hata wafanyikazi tulikuwa nao wengi. Approximately wafanyikazi 10 na siku hizi tuko tuna wafanyikazi 5 juu watu wamepungua.
Traders explain that a kilogram of fish has doubled from 200 Kenya shillings per kilo to 400 Kenyan shillings. This has had implications on sales.
Biashara imeenda chini kabisa sana. Juu hapo nyuma tulikuwa tunauza sana mpaka tunafurahia, lakini saizi ni kubahatisha tu. Unatoka tu kwa nyumba ni unajua kama utauza, unabahatisha tu. Malalamishi kubwa kabisa ni kwamba samaki imepanda. Hiyo ndio the main issue. Yaani samaki imepanda mpaka wengine wameshindwa. Sasa wana prefer kule mboga. Waachane na mambo ya samaki.
Sasa kitambo samaki kama hii tulikuwa tunauza 300 hii. Lakini kulingana na maisha even imekuwa hii size kwa sasa tunauza 650. Imedouble 650. Kulingana na venye mambo imeenda.
The elimination of proteins in the diet, no doubt, has health implications. It is the lack of proteins in children that has seen nutritionists raise concerns, adding that this will affect the development and well-being of children when they lack sufficient protein nutrients sustainably, especially between 3 and 15 years of age.
Because proteins have amino acids, and amino acids act in providing protections for the body. Secondly, for children, it also provides development of body organs, the kidneys, the heart. That is where proteins comes in.
Liz Mungoi, NTV.
I had signed out earlier on, but we come back to you with some breaking news, as you can see on your screen for those who can, that Justice David Majanja is dead. He's a High Court judge and a commissioner of the Judicial Service Commission, and he died today while undergoing treatment at a Nairobi hospital. And this has been confirmed by the Chief Justice, Martha Koome, and I will read her message that she's put out on her social media platforms. And this is titled Message on the Passing of Justice David Majanja. On behalf of the Judiciary and Judicial Service Commission, it is with profound sadness that I announce the sudden passing of Honorable Justice David Amilcar Shikomera Majanja, Judge of the High Court of Kenya and Commissioner of the Judicial Service Commission. We are all heartbroken. Our heartfelt condolences go out to his family, friends, colleagues, and the entire judiciary and JSC fraternity during this time of deep sorrow and sadness. The Chief Justice continues to say that Justice Majanja will be remembered as a towering figure in the development of our transformative post-2010 jurisprudence and a crucial pillar in the institution building of the JSC and the judiciary. Koome continues, we stand in solidarity with the family, friends, and the entire judiciary and JSC community during this very difficult period of mourning. The judiciary and JSC family call for sensitivity and compassion as we come to terms with this sudden loss and share in grief with one another and with the people of Kenya. We will share more information in due course. May Honorable Justice Majanja's soul rest in eternal peace. CJ Martha Koome. And for the avoidance of assumption, in case you're just joining us, the breaking news is that High Court Judge and Commissioner of the Judicial Service Commission, that is David Majanja, is dead. And this has been confirmed by Chief Justice Martha Koome, who says that on behalf of the Judiciary and Judicial Service Commission, it is with profound sadness that she announces the sudden passing on of Honorable Justice David Amilcar Shikomera Majanja, Judge of the High Court of Kenya and Commissioner of the Judicial Service Commission. Says that they're all heartbroken and the heartfelt condolences go out to his family, friends, colleagues, and the entire judiciary and JSC fraternity during this time of deep sorrow and sadness. Justice Majanja will be remembered as a towering figure in the development of Kenya's transformative post-2010 jurisprudence and a crucial pillar in the institution building of the JSC and the judiciary. And before we take a quick look at his profile, we're already seeing some messages of condolence pouring in. And one of those we've seen is that of Faith Odhiambo, who's the president of the Law Society of Kenya. And I'll just widen it and read it to you. It is with deep remorse that I have learnt of the passing on of High Court Judge and Judicial Service of Commissioner Justice David Majanja. It is a profoundly sad day for Kenya and the legal fraternity, as we have lost one of the fine minds on our bench. His studious contributions to our country's jurisprudence and commitment to uphold standards of excellence in judicial service formed a remarkable legacy for which he will be fondly remembered and greatly missed. On behalf of the Law Society of Kenya and myself, that is Faith Odhiambo, the president of the society, I convey my heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and the judiciary fraternity. May the good judge rest in peace. And that is the condolence message from Faith Odhiambo, who is the president of the Law Society of Kenya. Now, just a quick look at who David Majanja was regarding in terms of his profile, which is what we have picked from the judiciary website. Appointment to judicial service. He was appointed judge of the High Court in 2011. He served at Homa Bay, Migori, Kisumu, and Kisii High Courts. He served at the Commercial and Tax Divisions and Milimani High Court Civil Division. Further to that, he held a Master of Laws degree, International Trade and Investment Law in Africa, University of Pretoria, that was in 2005, Bachelor of Law, LLB degree, University of Nairobi in 1996, postgraduate diploma in law, the Kenya School of Law, and he was admitted to the bar in 1998. Previous experience, he practiced law specializing in civil and commercial law. He was involved in public interest litigation, and he was the assistant counsel for the Commission of Inquiry into the Post-Election Violence, that is the WAKI Commission. Other responsibilities, which is what he was holding at the point of his demise. He was a commissioner at the Judicial Service Commission, that's the JSC. He was the chair, Administration of Justice Committee at JSC. He was a member of the Judiciary Rules Committee, and he was the presiding judge at Homa Bay and Migori High Courts. He was also a member and later vice chairperson of the Judiciary Working Committee on Election Preparations. Member and later vice chairperson of the Judiciary Working Committee on Election Preparations, that's JWCEP, and that is the profile of David Amilcar Shikomera Majanja, and that is the current breaking news that the judge has passed on, and this has been confirmed by the Chief Justice, who is also the chairperson of the Judicial Service Commission, a commission which Justice Majanja was part of. That is Martha Koome, who has confirmed the same and has put out the post as a media statement as well as a post on her social media platforms, which we have just read through, and we're already getting some condolence messages coming through by different members of the public as well as people in the legal fraternity, as I have read by Faith Odhiambo, that is the president of the Law Society of Kenya. And this, like I said, was confirmed by the Chief Justice. So in case you're just picking this up with us, we say that Justice David Majanja has passed on. And we shall be getting more information as well as the condolence messages as they come to us, and not on this bulletin, but on our social media platforms. So just check our X, Facebook, Instagram, across, as well as our websites. That's ntvkenya.co.ke, nation.africa, and see the updates on the same as we bring you up to speed on this. And I'll just refresh this page just in case the president has issued a statement, but not yet. He is yet to issue a statement, and we shall pick that up in the event that he does so. So thank you for joining us on this broadcast, as well as Pole sana to the family, friends, and the whole community that has been around Justice David Majanja as he has now rested. We shall give you more details. Check out our social media and other online platforms as we proceed. My name is Dan Mwangi. Have yourselves a good night.
This is NTV.
The moment I feel my pain starting to fade, it's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.
Panadol Extra releases you from strong pain. Panadol, release starts here.
Kikohozi cha muda wowote, kutokwa na jasho kwa wingi usiku, uchungu kwenye kifua, afya kudhoofika, tafuta matibabu. Labda ni TB ni ugonjwa wa kweli, ukipimwa matibabu yapo utapona. TB waishi poa.
Winning a first international trophy has long been seen as the ultimate validation for Belgium. It was hoped the country's golden generation would deliver Belgium an elusive title, having been perched at the top of the FIFA rankings for several years. But a tame exit at Euro 2024 is set to spell the end of an era for the Red Devils.
The Kenya Geothermal Congress taking place from Tuesday 16th to 21st July at Safari Park Hotel, Nairobi. Kenya Geothermal Congress 2024, incentivizing investments in geothermal energy for Kenya's accelerated industrial development.
Self-reflection, continuous learning, and always putting yourself out of your comfort zone. These are some of the key elements needed in personal growth.
Kutoka masuala ya maadili, uhusiano wa kihisia, hadi masuala ya fedha, mzazi wa kiume ni muhimu sana kwa familia yake.
Personal growth is an individual journey that is influenced by one's beliefs and values.
Wanaume, ukisimama mbele ya wanaume wenzako, unatoa kifua mbele, unajikaza kiasi, si ndio?
Katika dunia inayobadilika kila uchao, ni jukumu lako wewe kama baba mzazi kuilinda familia yako kwa vyovyote vile. Ungana nasi tarehe 3 Agosti mwaka huu hapa Tilisi kwa gumzo la mwaka la Man Cave Season 4.
To all car enthusiasts, we got you covered. We are bringing you a fully fledged car clinic. Also join us for amazing sumptuous meals. Not forgetting, grab your tickets at www.kenyabus.com. Tupatane Man Cave.
Kupitia kwa star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this brand new Mazda Demio.
Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, touchscreen and a reverse cam, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business.
Ukitaka kujishindia gari hili, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option number 4, kisha unajiunga na draw. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa, because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Gari ya pili ni yako. Ni yako.
Hii Julai, jishindie Demio na Loto Moto. Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde.
Are you looking for an ideal real estate investment in Parklands? Allow us to introduce Park Peak Residency, situated in 4th Parklands Avenue, opposite Concord Hotel and 200 meters from Diamond Plaza Mall. This project offers 45 signature units, 3 and 4 bedrooms with DSQ, alongside 5 and 6 duplex penthouses. We are delighted to invite you to our show house grand opening event on Saturday, July 13th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. To RSVP or for more information on our projects, call us on 0745 444 111. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated 16. It may be unsuitable for persons under the age of 16.
Wale wase ni girl demon wa Power hapa hivi. Mimi naitwa Evie Yona.
Oza naitwa Sanchez Mali, host wako wa Power kama dawa. Na kama unatu join for the very first time, hii ni Shujaz TV. Na vile tulikuambia mtu wangu, Shujaz TV ni mbogi yako tu. Azini tunakupeleka na rada wewe kama YouTuber. Ikuwe mbogi ya nini? Mambo ya biz, mambo ya relationship, ikuwe mambo yako tu, mavako tu zote za YouTuber. Tuko hapa juu yako, sawa?
Exactly. Alafu manze tunapenda pia mambo za talanta. Na round hii tuko Kiambu County.
Tuko Kiambu County wewe.
Ndio hiyo.
Unajua nini kuhusu Kiambu County?
Ai wewe huku ni kwetu, mimi hata usinianzie kwanza sasa. Najua kila mtu hapa.
Oh shata. Kuna mama tunda, kuna nini?
Kuna talanta msee, kuna sasa wanajua kudance. Ngojeni tu tutawapeleka na rada. Lakini sai kumbuka tuko social media, tuko TikTok, tuko Facebook, tuko
unaweza tupata kila mahali at Shujaz Kenya across all social media platforms. Na bado unaweza tupata WhatsApp, sawa? Tuambie namba basi.
Manze mbana yetu, mbana yangu yake, yetu sisi wote ni 0718921177.
Haya, one time last week tuliwapatia episode moja ya Stra pale, na this week tena mambo ni moto yo design. Unakumbuka Achina Mwasa wakianzisha busy yao?
Mimi nakumbuka
Sasa tunaenda one time tuone episode 2 kumekuwa na drama gani.
I have to go back to my child.
Alafu ulisikia kenye kuzo wako alikuambia?
Mamangu amesema hezi pigana na hawa watu.
Exactly the more reason why unafaa kuwa hapa. Make sure hii business imegrow. Si uko ushago story ni ati una do na una job no maana uwezi eka mtu itao.
Okay, I can't lose my child. Jaden akina kuishi na hawa watu.
Siri ya kushinda hawa watu ni moja. To make sure hii business imekuwa successful. Alafu uchukue books upelekee chief. Chief akiona una make do na uko na job atakupatia mtoto, si ndio?
Na rafiki yako Jonte akwaje leo?
Ako tu saa, atarikava.
Alisema ni kina nani walimpiga?
Magondi fulani.
I hope you kisirani yake haitatufuata. Vile umesema, lazima hii busy ende poa.
Jonte yako sawa haya. Yaani msempoa ana swara. Ni ajeje?
Wewe staki malip service zako.
Ai, acha hizo bro. Tuende nikubaie breakfast, unajua mwanaume ni kujenga mwili. Twende. Achi, nakuja.
Sawa.
Breakfast just how you like it, eh? Mandazi moto na chai moto.
I hope ujaniongee mazi yangu venye ulifanya ile juice ya kina Achi kwa launch salon yao.
Ai, taste and see. Kwanza yako nimekuwekea double. Thick vile tu unapendanga.
Makena. Nimepema sana kwanza kusema jina thick sai.
Wewe kwani hakuna kitu kingine ufikiria?
Ni nini wewe? Kama umechoka na hii maisha, achana na wengine wetu tuienjoy.
Na hope ulifikiria hiyo story tuliongea, usipate ball bure.
Ai, Makena zi. Triplets hao wote napelekana nao wapi? Sisi matembe ndio zuharibu mabodi za madem. Alafu ile siku nataka kuzaa na za watoto 20.
Madhaka kwa na watoto 20?
Zi.
Alafu unafikiria wewe ndio wa kwanza kwa hii familia yenye kutumia hizi tembe? My friend. Kama wazazi wako hawangekuwa wamejipanga, unafikiria ungefunguliwa hii business wewe na brother yako? Kama ungekuwa umezana hapa kapanya.
Wewe na wewe. Kwani siku hizi mtu akiorder food inakuja na package ya guidance and counseling? Tependa zako.
Nipatie tray yangu basi.
So, Mas, pesa ya rent iko?
Nilikuwa nauliza ama unaweza nipe extension kiasi.
Buda, unadhani tunafanya charity hapa? Kama mna doa ya kufanya biz, unafanya nini mkifunga hii kitu?
Je, pesa ilikuwa. Kitu ili happen ya Tilandi ya madhangu ilikuwa na issues uko Ucha. So pesa yenye tulikuwa nayo ikabidi nimpatia wakili na chief ili land isiende.
Buddha, hizo ni personal issues. Si tuko busy.
Nakuomba tafadhali tuhurumie.
We, usinikanishe kama God. Usiniombe hapa nianze kupigwa na matanda. Mimi nataka tu nionyeshe tu pesa.
Je, please.
Fanya hivi hiyo pesa ulipe kabla siku imeisha. Ama nitang'oa mlango hiyo salon. Wasiwahi mtaa. Wajibambe na hizo vitu zenyu. Umesikia?
Stacy, mbona uko shule?
Hadi ni mam natafuta. Ako?
Ni nini?
Makena, nimeanza period.
Nitanunua pads leo na every other month from now. Lakini usiambie mama umeanza periods.
Mbona?
Atasema umekuwa msichana mkubwa.
Na kwani isn't that a good thing?
Wewe dream ade. Na sitakubali akufanyia chenye alinifanyia. Sawa? Aki, please Stacy, usimwambie umeanza periods zako. Sawa?
Sawa.
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 Aya, twende hivi nikubaie pads usichelewe shule. Sawa?
Na usioshe client mwili. Akitoka penye ametoka alikuwa ameoga. Na kama hajaoga si busy yetu kumosha. Your agenda is here.
Acha asante kwa kunisamea.
Sikusema nimekusamehea. Earn your place kwa kuosha wateja vizuri na kumalizia braids.
I promise sitakudisappoint.
Niaje? Uko fiti? Niko poa. Uko fiti? Si baadaye. Ngoja. Jonte.
Niaje?
Unadu.
Cheki. Buda. Si lazima ushinde ukinifuata huku. Wale magondi wenye walikuwa wamekuja kunivamia si wa mtaa.
Mimi siongelei shughuli ilikufanyikia juzi.
So tunaongelelea.
Sidhani sija notice shughuli unafanya na hizo simu.
Sawa basi umenipata. Wacha tafanyaje? Nitakupatia ka percentage fulani ya busy yangu. 1%.
Busy gani?
Phone charging. Cheki. Nimekuja kunotice. Wachikiwa siwa mtaa wana struggle sana na kucharge simu zao. Ukipeleka huko kwa madhe ama kwa ngiche, tenje zao zina explode. Lakini nachiki na Raibes. Legit.
Stima ya busy yangu na chesi yako.
Sasa ndio maana nakupatia ka percentage. Sawa basi. 1% is not so generous. Chukua 3%. Best offer.
Cheki. Usichaji hizo simu kwa base yangu tena, sawa?
50%.
80%.
Ai 80% aje. Si mimi ndo naleta makasi hapa, mimi ndo nafanya marketing.
Mimi ndo nalipia stima hapa.
Sawa basi. Chukua 60, mimi nichukue 40.
Sawa.
Wazi. Baadaye.
Maridadi. Haya.
Asante. Karibu sana.
Nimekuja mnirembeshe nataka kutesa.
Just the right place.
I know.
Wow, oh my god. Wow.
Karibuni.
Hivi pia amina finally. Tebuni hapa. Nishike. Sawa. Alafu tunakushow. Leo kuna boy fulani na plan kumtesa mbaya.
Mimi sitaki story zako.
Makena, wacha wivu.
Wivu aje? Na wewe ndio unakata kusikiza maneno. Kazi niachi. Ambia udem atapata ball. Hebu mwambie atapata ball. Aya, sina kuongelesha.
Mimi sina maoni.
Makena acha kuharastirisia.
Nas. Umekuja at the right time, Chono udem ataki kutumia protection.
Makena. Ni nini unapenda kutangaza maneno zangu kila pahali? Sasa utangaze kwa radio kwenda.
Kama utanisikiza, afadhali usikize nani? Professional. Nas, imagine udema anasema akiacha kutumia tembe ati atapata triplets.
Ulisikia historika hizo wapi? Let me tell you something. Kama hii dunia ingekuwa hivyo, kungekuwa kumejaa triplets huku.
Lakini Nas, hizo rumors ziko na ukweli Nasikia hizo maneno kwa tunatumia hizo pills. Hata juzi niliwatch news, kulikuwa na mama mwingine pale za watoto hao wasita. Mimi ndo nakushuku.
Chebi, mimi ndo natumianga hizo tembe. Ni story gani umesikia kutoka kwangu?
Before uanze kutumia contraceptives, lazima uvisit clinic, ndio kuja tukuassess, alafu ndio tujue ni mbinu gani inakufaa. Lakini si vibaya kukuwa safe. Na nikuulize, utanitembelea lini mama?
I'm sorry I'm doing this, but niko desperate. Lakini I promise ukinipea grace period, hiyo haitakuwa mazoeano na rent yako haitaidelay.
Mwangi, nakusikia. Lakini that's not how to run a business.
I know. But ni vitu tu unexpected zimefanya tukue disorganized. Please bear with us.
I hear you. Fanya hivi. Instead of a grace period, because I'm a business person, I will give you a loan. Sitaki kijana wangu afikirie we can be letting people stay without paying rent.
Okay. Loan itanisaidia. And I promise nitalipa by next week. Naweza kutumia namba ingine kwa sababu yangu iko na deni.
Sawa.
Asante sana Mhesh.
Sawa, acha come. Bye.
Ona Chebi. Kuna pesa fulani natumiwa kwa simu yako, si utanitolea?
Haya, hata ishaingia. Mwas. Mbona Mhesha anakutumia do?
Wewe cheza chini.
Ben 10, usijali. Your secret is perfectly safe with me, sawa? Twende hivi nikupatie do zako. Alafu utebidi akwa na kutumia pesa kubwa kubwa, sawa? Twende baby boy.
Achi,
ni nini?
Nataka kuongea na mama yako.
Mbona mbona missed call yake? Wako sawa?
Madhe amesema baba Jaden na mother-in-law ameenda kwa chief tena. Wanataka mtoto. Lakini chief amesema kutakuwa na kikao hivi karibuni. Imagine hao wachawi wanataka kuchukua Jaden. Wanasema ati una haja na endo maana umekuja Nairobi kuzurura. Sio nataka umpe watoto wale.
Winning a first international trophy has long been seen as the ultimate validation for Belgium. It was hoped the country's golden generation would deliver Belgium an elusive title, having been perched at the top of the FIFA rankings for several years. But a tame exit at Euro 2024 is set to spell the end of an era for the Red Devils.
The Kenya Geothermal Congress taking place from Tuesday 16th to 21st July at Safari Park Hotel, Nairobi. Kenya Geothermal Congress 2024, incentivizing investments in geothermal energy for Kenya's accelerated industrial development.
Are you curious about that dazzling look? How do you define beauty? And how to dress elegant, glitz, and glamorous. The Glam Show is here to answer all those questions and show you what's popping and what's the latest in the beauty and lifestyle world, because you need it. Look your best and fall in love with Into the Glam.
My name is Bob Karina, Chairman of FIDA Investment Bank, and I am also the Chairman of Rwanda Stock Exchange. We are looking forward to seeing you on 3rd of August at Tilisi in Gecha, Limuru, to come and hear about the Season 4 presentations that will cover the balancing act between personal growth and family responsibilities. It will be an exciting event and will cover many things. There will be things about parenting, there is about challenges in bringing up families, and we'll cover things like what are your responsibilities as a father in the family. So we are looking forward to seeing you and hope you will come and listen to the advice that we shall give.
Ati tuko stra kila block, tuko stra
Kila block.
tuko stra
Kila block.
Au tulikuwa tusha promise manze, drama inaendelea kuongezeka pale kwa dunia ya stra, na kama vile mmejionea manze, Jay ni mtu mtiaji. Mika huwezi sikiza morio wako akiwa Kongori, mimi naona hiyo ni utiaji. Ama unaonaje?
First of all, leo si morio wake. So mimi nadifa naye kwa sababu hiyo ni biz manzi. Lazima yeye Jay aendelee kucheza mafutani. Hizi tu anza kucheza na do za biz. Ala.
Hamna issue. Kasi ya stra bado pia walikuwa wanadai ku react kwa hii vida. Kwa hivyo tuone tuone vile hao walikuwa wanasema.
Awala.
Wala pangani.
Ati unaweza niwekea nikupe hii namba nyingine ndio niwekee hapo.
Kuna situation mwasa kwa situation kuna rent na bado wako na Mangori home, akaamua kupeleka hiyo do ya rent kwa Mangori home. Do you think it's a good choice?
But unajua kukua myang na unaweza balance ati do za home, do za rent. It's tricky. Imagine when ni myang, mwas anatoa do zake za rent anapeleka kwa biz. Na anafanya hivyo ulale nje.
Lakini pia ile situation yenye mwasa alikuwa. So na kulikuwa na Ngori home. Ilikuwa home ama job. Nakwambia hapo hadi angefikiria huyo ati ama hiyo job. Lazima angefikiria mzazi. Hiyo shamba balance.
Emergency kikama ijuangi kesho ama ijuangi ama umekaa poa.
It's a long term thing. See like story ya rent tutaongea na landlord. Shamba ikienda
kwa shamba.
Shamba ikienda
hata ukifungiwa nyumba utaenda home.
Utarudi mtaaba na uliuza au
lakini ndio haijapotea.
Lakini guys kwa hii reality like it's not about Kenya tumeona. Wewe unaona sisi as Gen Z, sisi as young people. Tunafaa tu work on what, because mimi naona ngani kama all we do nowadays is just spend money ni kama
but tunareda pesa hadi kwa wase wakubwa kushinda hadi kwa wazazi bado ni tricky because we kubalance do
paper till death.
Pia
tricky na kuna mtu ana drive your dream car there. Tamta kuna Prado diesel na ameka full tank. Alafu kimuuliza maisha iko aje, anakuambia ni kujaribu tu. Unajaribu aje uko na full tank.
Watu wa kujaribu hao watu kusema ni kukunywa maji na God.
Na wale na uli make it aje ni God.
Kuna kenye pia mimi nimeona hapo imefanya tu nikafikiria like you guys like mnaweza penda sana kutuambia like experience yenu ya kwanza ya your venye mlianza kunyesha like how did you guys react to that?
Okay,
mlishtuka guys?
Naweza penda sana kuambia yangu.
Lakini jari tuambie yako.
Wewe nini utuambie? Sina. Nilinyeshewa na mvua.
But that's a very
nikapata homa.
Yeah, cause wewe wacheni tuongee. Njeri utaongea.
Njeri hebu tuambie
yako.
Kwa swali tabia ya primary kupelekea mwalimu kitabu.
Oh my god.
Niko hapo kwa line tunapiga story then boy fulani. Sema damu. Sasa niko like hiyo siku tulikuwa tunakula sukuma na nyama. Kasema labda nimekalia nyama. So mimi sijaisha. So haikuwa kitu unaweza fikiria na fonyo watu wasamenyesha walikuwa kwa wawili class. So si kitu inaweza happen like
watu wanagrow.
Sasa mimi niko like IZ. So the smart wangu akanishow sendo uangalia. nikafika washroom. Imagine nililia, sijui mbona.
But I think
but nililia tu, I was like kai, nilishtuka tu nikaanza kulia.
Umetombe venye your first experience.
Yes.
Personally, mimi sijai angalia hiyo. Sijai angalia. What do you mean boy? We never had that. Tujifunza timademu ufanye hivi. Kwanza tukiwa Raima, kwanza sisi when us venye tulikuwa boarding school, una kitu tu hivyo, una msichana ametoka mbio ama tu mahali unasikia alikuwa ananyesha. Huyo kwanza mna set aside kwanza. As in, it was back then when we were in primary, like after tumegrow tumefika saa hii ndio tunakuja ku understand that ilikuwa tu normal body function. But I think tukiwa pale watu ile time yenye ulikuwa unaambuka karibu ukae desk moja na dem, unaweka bag katika
kulikuwa na hiyo pia sitaki kujana na hizo vitu.
Akifanya karibu. So I think hii education yenye mnasema ati mnafampewe is only for you guys.
Actually, even for the boys.
Msitenge kando. Niulize chocolate na kujiana aje?
Let me
Sulambe sukari.
Nani ende Google. Matere go and Google, it helps. That's why tukiwaambia mtupatie care package, mnasema she's expensive, bro, we need it.
Mbogi yetu true cheki. Ni kama hizi vitu zenye zoo happen kwa hii show yetu ya Stra, ni kama bado zina happen in real life. Cause hii kitu ili happen ya Sister Makena, but Trix pia ametuambia real life yake pia yake ilianza akiwa chuo.
Imekuwa experience fiti kusikiza Chebi, Trix, Nadi, nani huyo mwingine?
Of course kuna Mwasi hapo. Kwanza Mwasi, wewe Mwasi nikikupata kwa namba.
Mimi nasema vile wametu highlight experience yao the first time walinyesha. I think pia mna enlighten machali wakiwa mtaa.
Manze, na mki highlightiwa manze relax. Lakini sasa nimechoka kusikia hizo story. Zinanikumbusha trauma fulani. Hiyo tutaongea siku nyingine.
Tunakupeleka one by one mpaka kwa mboka ya mzee Saimo. Twende tucheki kenye Saimo alifanya pale. Vile anacheza mafutani au sio?
Au sio?
Nilikuwa nafanya business nyingine ya hawking. Wakati nilikuwa natembeza vitu nafanya hawking. Siku moja nilikuwa naomba Mungu siku moja nipate kazi kama hii ya matunda. Nilikuwa naipenda sana kwa roho yangu. Sasa wakati nilisave kidogo nikapata pesa ya kuweka matunda. Nikaasia kidogo. Ndio maana nimefika mahali hapa niko sasa. Biashara yangu inanifurahisha kwa sababu huwezi kosa kuuza. Juu ni vitu za kukula, lazima uuze. Vitu za kukula huwa zinatembeanga.